Good morning, children. I hope you all might have written your notes that I had sent last week. The fill in the blanks, the true or false, the question answers, and the meanings. Okay? You have to learn all that, and you may have test today or tomorrow. Okay? Now, let's see in page number 49 in your textbook. I want everybody to open your textbook to page number 49 and see the grammar part that is given there. Transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, what is that? Transitive and intransitive verbs. Read this sentence. Sarah bought a new dress. Okay, what is the sentence? Sarah bought a new dress. Okay. Can you tell which is the subject in that sentence? Sarah. Okay. Subject means the noun. Which is the verb in that? Bought. Okay. Bought is the verb. And a new dress. What is Sarah bought? A new dress. A new dress is the object. So, now see the difference in that sentence. Sarah is the subject, bought is the verb, and a new dress is the object. Okay. So, which is the verb in that? Bought. Okay, that is the transitive verbs. Okay. Why did we call it as a transitive verb? Okay. Why did we call it as a transitive verb? Because if a sentence is having a subject, a verb and an object, we will call it as a transitive verbs. Is it clear? So when a sentence is, when we are writing it, it must have three things. Which are they? It must have a subject, it must have a verb, and also it must have an object. Okay? And also transitive verbs are action verbs that have an object to receive that action. Underline that sentence. Okay? Transitive verbs are action verbs that have an object to receive that action. Okay, which is the transitive verbs in this sentence? Bought. Okay, what did she bought? A new dress. Who bought it? Sarah. Okay, now is it clear? Okay, in other words, transitive verbs transfer their action to the object. Okay, for a verb to be transitive, the action must be directed towards a noun. Okay, directed towards a noun. Then underline the next sentence is on the next page. The structure of a sentence with a transitive verb in it is, easily you can remember, subject plus verb plus object. Okay, so what is that? Subject plus verb plus object. Underline that. What is a transitive verbs? When you think about a transitive verbs, you have to remember it must have a subject, it must have a verb, and also an object. Okay. So see that column. It is very clearly given there in your textbook. Sarah. Sarah is the subject or a noun. Okay. Bought. Bought is a verb. Object, a new dress. Okay. Now is it clear? A transitive verbs must have a subject, a verb or a object. Now coming to the intransitive forms. Sarah laughed. Okay, see that? Read this sentence. Sarah laughed. In the above sentence, what is the subject in that? Sarah. What did she do? laughed. But there is no object. But there is no object. Okay. So, intransitive verbs do not take an object. Okay. Now you understood very clearly. It is very easy to understand. Transitive verbs must have an object. Must have an object. But intransitive verbs does not have an object. Is it clear? Underline that sentence. Intransitive verbs, on the other hand, do not take an object. Intransitive verbs are action verbs. But unlike transitive verbs, they do not require an object to make the sentences meaningful. What did Sarah do? She laughed. Okay, the sentence is clear. Now look at the following sentence. There are many sentences given in the textbook. See, there are 5 sentences given in your textbook. I laughed. Which is the subject in that? I. Which is the verb? Laughed. What kind of sentence it is? Intransitive. Okay. I cried. Which is the subject? I. What did I do? Cried. Cried is the transitive verb or intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs. The book fell. Okay. So, the book fell. Which is the subject? The book. Fell is the verb. Okay. There is any object? No. So, it is intransitive verbs. The horse galloped. Which is the subject? The horse. Galloped is the verb. What kind of verb it is? Intransitive verbs. The sun set. Which is the subject? The sun. What is the verb there? Set. What kind of sentence it is? Intransitive verbs. Okay. So, all these sentences are intransitive verbs. Okay. In all the above cases, the subject is performing the action of the verb without an object receiving the action. The structure of a sentence with an intransitive verb in it is subject plus verb. Okay. I told in the beginning, transitive verbs is subject plus verb plus object. But intransitive verbs is subject plus verb. Okay, now you understood? So, the difference between the transitive and intransitive. Transitive verbs must have an object. But in intransitive verbs, it is not compulsory to have an object. Okay. So, is it clear to all? Okay. Transitive and intransitives are the difference. Now, underline the verbs in the sentences and say whether they are transitive or intransitive. We slept in the open. Which is the verb in that? Slept. Okay. It is a transitive or intransitive. We slept in the open. Okay. So, which is the subject there? We is the subject. Slept is the verb. And it is an intransitive verb. Okay. Then second sentence. What kind of verb is for the first one? Slept is the intransitive verb. There is no object. The train whistled loudly. Which is the subject there? The train. Okay. Which is the verb? Whistled. Okay. So, what kind of verb it is? Transitive or intransitive? Intransitive verbs. Then, which is the verb in that? Whistle. And what kind of verb it is? Intransitive verbs. Then, see the third sentence. The doctor advised him to rest. Which is the subject? Doctor. The doctor. Which is the verb? Advise. Advise. What did the doctor advise? Him to rest. To rest. That is the object. So, what kind of verb it is? Can you tell? Yes, that is transitive verbs. Okay, is it clear? The doctor advised him to rest. Advised is the verb there. And what kind of verb it is? transitive verbs because it has an object. What is the object in that sentence? Him to rest. Okay, is it clear? Now look at the fourth one. He keeps his money in the front pocket. He keeps his money in the front pocket. Can you tell which is the verb in that? Yes, keeps. Okay, which is the subject? He. And which is the object? Whether it in that sentence any object is there? Yeah? Yes. His money in the front pocket. In the front pocket. So it can be a transitive or intransitive? Transitive. Okay, very good. Keeps is the verb in that. It is a transitive verb. Now see the last one. They laughed at the joke. They laughed at the joke. Okay. Which is a verb in that? Laughed. Which is the subject? They. Okay. Any object there? No. They laughed at the joke only. But it is not telling what kind of joke it is. Okay. So there is no object. So it can be intransitive verbs. So it is a intransitive verbs. Is it clear to everyone? You have to do that all exercise in your textbook. Okay. Slept is the intransitive verbs. Whistled is the intransitive verbs. Advised transitive verbs. Keeps transitive verbs. And laughed transitive verbs. Okay. First one intransitive. Second one intransitive. Third one transitive. Fourth one transitive. And fifth one intransitive verbs. Okay.